All right, y'all. So we're about to get into the tea because it is hot. But before we do that, we got to talk about this group trip to Vietnam, March 14th through the 20th of 2026. I want you to be there. If you have seen our trips to Bali, to Thailand, to Zanzibar, and our upcoming one to Cape Town, you don't want to miss this one to Vietnam. People ask me, why did I choose Vietnam? I mean, look at it. We got good pricing in terms of the currency conversion, so the dollar takes you further. We got beautiful landscapes, and we got great Vietnamese food and shopping. Plus, 3 cities, so we're going to be running around this country looking all types of crazy and all types of lit. And we got a 2-day luxury cruise, y'all. A 2-day luxury cruise. So I need you to go ahead and make your reservation today. Go ahead and make your deposit today. You can put it on a payment plan. Click the link in the description. Now we can really get into this tea. What's going on, fam? What is going on? Ant is clocking me. Said 3 months late. And Ant said 3 months late. Wait, 3 minutes late. Sky Squad, we are back in the building. Yes, blame Norman. When I set this, I originally thought I set it for 10:15, but it looked like it was set for 9:15. So I apologize, y'all. I do my gymming in the mornings. And so I was like, okay, I'll do it when I get, set it before I leave the house. That way it's ready for when I get back after I eat my breakfast. All right. So we're going to be discussing The Real Housewives of Potomac, season 10, episode 5. It's called Sunshine and Sex. Sex. SEXTS. Okay. Now, the ladies in their first night in Nevis with a celebration, a day filled with sunshine, history, and shopping isn't enough to shake Kiana and Angel's feelings of uneasiness within the group. Also, we could call this episode Crying Over Filtered Photos. Crying over filtered photos. So we're going to talk a little bit about that in just a little bit. Just give me 1 second. We got to get some housekeeping out of the way. Your comments are in the chat. Please be adult and say only adult level things and be prepared for an adult level conversation. All right. If you cannot handle an adult level conversation, just watch. Okay. Don't comment. Watch. Okay. And just watch the adults in action. All right. Then subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, because sometimes we watch videos and guess what? We're not even subscribed to the person's channel. So I'm guilty of that. So don't you be guilty of it as well. We will be assisted by my assistant, Norman, who is sometimes absent and invisible, but we work with what we can. All right. We work with what we can. And make sure you guys tap into our group trip to Vietnam. We have 5 more spots available. I know that there are several of you that have been saying, hey, Richie, I'm going to get my ticket. I'm going to get my ticket. I'm going to get it. And the spots keep going down. Okay. We was at 8 spots. You said you was going to get it. We was at 7 spots. You said you won't get it. We at 5. You said you won't get it. I don't want you to miss out. I want you to be there and have a good time with us. So go tap the link in the description. It's right there right now. All you got to do is make a deposit and you're all set to go. And you can pay over time. And we also have flexible payment options like Affirm. So guess what? You ain't even got to come out of pocket. All right. Yet. Right. But you'll pay over time and you're good to go. March 14th through the 20th. All right. She's all about her coin. Says, did you go to the Brandy and Monica concert last night? It was so good. No, I did not. I think they were in Baltimore last night. My little cousin went. She had on her Moesha inspired outfit last night. So I did not go to the concert, but I do want to go. I think they're coming. Are they coming back to DC? I think maybe maybe I'll go then. I really don't know. I was a little bit like, after that first time Brandy had to tap out, I was kind of like, well, didn't y'all just get started? Can I count on you? Can I count on you to be there for us, Brandy? Because we want you there. But nevertheless, I'm sure the show was spectacular. And so we will try to get there if we can. All right. So let's get into the biz naive with this particular show, right? We start this episode off with the continuation of the ladies' inquisition of Stacy and this idea that she has been trying to get with Chris Samuels. All right. So here's the thing about that. You know, it would be easy enough probably to prove whether or not she was trying to get at him. But I guess the question was, in that moment, Ashley's interjection was to save Gizelle for some reason, right? And she pulled what I would equate to a Robin level move by taking a moment that was literally targeted for Gizelle, which was quite innocuous, to be honest with you. The idea that Gizelle could be dating a retired football player, I mean, where's the bad news in that? Other than maybe Gizelle would not really want to talk about her romance and her love life on the show, which is kind of odd, but not odd, right? We get it. I mean, we know what happened with the Sherman of it all, and then the Jamal Bryan of it all, and then the Jason of it all, the Summer House guy that, I don't think any of us really believed. But, listen, I told y'all once before, and I've said it again, I don't really think that Gizelle will bring anybody else on the show. And I just think that's that. Whether that's fair or not, that we don't really get those aspects of her personal life while the rest of the ladies are expected to tear open the pages of their encyclopedias for everyone else. Whether that's fair or not, it doesn't seem fair, but I do know that I just don't think that we're going to get that from Gizelle. And again, I don't care how many dating shows she does. I just don't think we're going to see who she's really in real life getting into the nuts and bolts with. Okay. So as Ashley is directing her inquisition of Stacy with this Chris Samuels tea, at the end of the day, Chris Samuels, from my understanding, is a single man. If Stacy was doing this while she was single, then I don't really. I mean, what's the bit? I guess I don't. It doesn't really register to me why Ashley would care so much. Other than if Monique and Stacy were friends, which Stacy says that they haven't met, and then Stacy says also, girlfriend, I am back with my husband, okay? Divorced husband. Whatever Stacy says to her, it really kind of shuts Ashley down to a certain degree because while she may have been trying to get with him or not, I don't know. I can tell you with 100% certainty, I have not spoken to her about this. I have not asked her about this. I've not seen Chris Samuels, so I don't know. What I will say, I am probably 100% certain that Monique will not care. Surprise, surprise. So I don't think that it is going to be the moment that people are trying to make it to be. I just don't see it. But I could be wrong. I don't know the future. I'm just giving you an educated guess based on what I know about Monique. And I don't think she would mind me saying that. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so it's time to go back to Gizelle's suite for a little bit of birthday shenanigans for Wendy. They're not going to be selling Wendy's birthday every day like we did in previous seasons. Thank you, God. No shade to you, Wendy, and your birthday. But at a certain point in time, it's time to stop, okay? Y'all ever had a friend's birthday and that birthday be lasting for 4 weeks straight? And I'll just be like, you know what, friend? I can't do it. you know, I just really can't do another. I can't do another thing. Okay, I just no. All right, no. Count me out. Count me out. Because guess what? I generally don't ask people to do anything for my birthday no more. I don't. I don't. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Because then I'm gonna be tethered to you having to do something for your birthday. The whole all this and all these. No, 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 no. No more. Okay. Um. Oh Lord, y'all comments is tough. Okay, so they go to the but Kiana is tired. Kiana says y'all have been riding my strap for the whole evening. And to that I say, Kiana, my beloved, go to bed. Beloved, please go to bed, because I as beautiful as Kiana is, girl, you is a drag on this trip. Girl, go to bed. Go to bed, start fresh in the morning, come back looking fabulous. You know what I'm saying? Like, ooh, like just get it together. Like, go to bed. I agree with you. Girl, tap out when it's time to tap out. The rest of the girls and Angel, they get to shaking things up a bit. They want to play a game of truth or drink the tequila. I don't think I saw nobody drink no tequila. And so as they drinking it, the questions start to come out. It's about to be a little bit of a mess. I don't blame Kiana. I would have left too. But Angel stays and they playing truth or whatever. And so the questions are always the same. Girl, who would you? I could tell you the standard housewives questions. And for those of you guys who have your kids around, cover their ears. I'm about to tell you exactly the questions that every housewives show is going to ask. Do you go down on your man? Okay. And do you like, or have you ever had a crush on a woman? Those are going to be the standard questions every housewife game is going to have. Whatever the city, most cities, right? Most cities, certain cities are really good for this. Have you put your mouth on anything lately? And if you could put your mouth on a woman, who would it be? Typical, right? Typical. So here we go. Wendy, it would be, who did she say? I don't know. She said, I don't know. She had a crush on some woman with some stripper with some braces or something like that. Okay. Then Tia's was Rachel Maddow, and I'm gonna leave that one alone. And then the next question is for Angel girl. Who in this group would you off? Okay. And when we say off, we mean just like have them cease to exist. Without delay, Angel says Gizelle, and I'm kind of like, ooh, golf clap. Not because that's what I think, but it's because I feel like, Angel, all this time you've been directing all of your angst at Wendy, and you should have been also at least directing at least 75% of your anger at the Ashley Gizelle combo. Mostly Gizelle for you, but that's who you really should, because this woman basically said that you have a doppelganger on your Instagram. Okay. That's what the lady said to you at the table. It was not Wendy that said that. Granted, Wendy did bust into a loud cackle. It was Gizelle that said you had a doppelganger on your Instagram. So as a result, finally take your stand. And the rest of the girls are high-fiving like, yes, because and Angel gets up and says, yes, I would off you, girl. It would be you. And so they welcome Angel over, what they call it, to the dark side. That's what they said in the thing. I don't know why they said that, but that's what they said. Her and Gizelle end up switching places. And so at that point, boom, Angel is hugging everybody. She's high-fiving, clap, 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 slap five. And Gizelle is like, okay, end scene. Well, we got what we needed, girls. Y'all can go to your room. I see you ain't finished eating your cake, but it doesn't matter. Get out of here because I got to go to bed. And boom, the girls are dismissed. Okay. The next morning, mind you, they're still in Nevis, right? For those of you guys who are new here, you didn't catch the episode. Let me catch you up. The cast is in Nevis, right? Which is adjacent, parallel, catty cornered, attached to St. Kitts, right? So they're two islands. Correct me if I'm wrong, somebody, because I know you will in the chat or someplace in the comment section down below. I'm fine with it, okay? Because a geography is not really my thing, right? I got you on a lot of things, not geography. I'm going, and we're doing the best we can, all right, with what we got. So short of me pulling up an atlas, all right, or a map, this is what you get. So they get up the next morning. Gizelle marches her happy butt right on over to Angel and Kiana's crib, and she, hey girls, and it's like, don't nobody want you here. They still mad at you because lo and behold, as soon as Angel got back to the crib, we're gonna see this. You see this in a flashback later because the girls are gonna wonder what changed with Angel, right? Angel got back to the room, and can I be honest with y'all? Everybody made a big deal about Angel feeling a completely different way the next morning. But I actually think that Angel's reaction was kind of on par for what humans actually do. Humans actually sometimes, not everybody, but some people, especially if you're an introvert, I'm sure Angel is trying to work her hardest to fit in with these girls and trying to figure herself out. What I think she needs to do is just relax and be herself. And whatever she said, stick with it. That is her biggest downfall, right? But what she does is what any human does. Something might happen. We trying to make the best of a situation because the girls feel like she's a lot more fun without Kiana. She goes back to the room. She debriefs Kiana because right now, Kiana is her lifeline on this show, right? She's the entryway. She is the person that she has known the longest. So she is still somewhat, even though Kiana has chin checked her, Kiana is still her safe space. So she goes back. She, kind of talks to the girls, tells her what happened. And Kiana's like, girl, I'm still mad for you because what they said about your photos was like not cool. But see, Kiana, my problem with you is this. This is my problem with you. Because you too are little fires everywhere. All right. And I'm gonna tell you why I'll call you little fires everywhere. Not for the same reason I would call Tamar little fires everywhere. And let me tell you something. These are both terms of affection, but they are terms that are based in fact of how you have, sort of conducted yourself on the show, which is not, listen, I'm judging, but I'm not judging. Because here's the thing. You were so upset for Angel in that situation with them calling her Instagram photos a doppelganger because they look heavily filtered, then you should have said in that moment, girl, stop. All of y'all who are laughing, and Gizelle, you too, don't be coming for my friend who may or may not, as she stated earlier, do a catfish game. Leave her alone. You did not say nothing to nobody. You did not have her back in that moment. You might have had her back way in the back, but you didn't have her back in the front. And that's what she needed you at. Okay? So nobody really talks about I don't see anybody online, when I look at the comments and stuff like that. I don't see nobody say, well, Kiana, why didn't you have her back? If that's how you felt so busted and disgusted and couldn't be trusted that you had to leave the event for Wendy, which granted, you don't really like Wendy no way, so I don't blame you for leaving that. If you need to tap out, you need to tap out. I don't blame you for that either, because don't nobody feel like being up all late at night when you got to film for 12 hours out of a day. So I need some time too. But at the end of the day, if you felt so upset about it, then you should have been the person to confront Gizelle as her friend and say, you know what, girl, y'all not gonna keep busting my friend's chops. Let me bust yours, because you don't have no problem busting Stacy's. You don't have no problems busting Wendy's. So I got to call you to the carpet for not defending your friend in the way that you should have in the face of Gizelle and Ashley. Okay? You got to do better. You got to do better now. All right? Because again, you've been on fire with some of these ladies, but if you gonna be on fire, you got to stay on fire, and that flame cannot burn out that fast. It can't. It can't. All right. So let's get it together. Meanwhile, when Gizelle comes over, Kate exits stage left, and that's when that was another good opportunity to lay into Gizelle and lay her out, but she left, okay? Because I felt like Angel needed to have her time with Gizelle, which it's appropriate at this point. Gizelle, before she can even sit down, Angel is crying. Lord have mercy. And at this point, one could say the Angel is crying over filtered photos, right? When I sent out my Substack notification, for those of you guys who are not tapped into Substack, it is going to be replacing the texting community because that thing is expensive, okay? And ain't nobody got time for that. So we're going to the Substack where I can just simply write you a message and you can get it directly to your email or to your phone that we're going live at a certain time or that you might have missed a video. So you never have an excuse to miss one, right? So in the title of the Substack post, I said crying over filter photos. Now, as Angel is crying and crying her heart out, she sits down and she sits in front of Gizelle and tells Gizelle, I didn't appreciate what you did to me last night. You came for me and my photos in front of all these girls. Now, she didn't say that verbatim, but this was the gist of the conversation. And Gizelle, seeing her crying, is like, "Oh my God, like, girl, like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." And to that, I say, I think Gizelle was probably more apologetic for the tears of it all because I'm assuming that Gizelle probably thought, "Girl, you're on Housewives. Like, you should be able to take this." And I'm going to tell you that I would argue that I think that Angel is crying over something completely different than the photos. I think that Angel is crying out of probably frustration. I think that Angel is probably crying because of a level of maybe insecurity about how her body may have transitioned post having kids. Okay. And she has an expectation that Gizelle, as a mother, would know about her insecurities. And maybe insecurities is not the right word. Okay. Maybe it's not the right word. Don't shoot me as the messenger. I'm just trying to convey a point that there is something greater at play for Angel that she is expecting Gizelle and the rest of the ladies perhaps to recognize. But there's two separate issues here, right? The first issue is three, actually. The first issue is Gizelle's commentary and most of the girls' commentary are about photos and about her face, right? And so I think that typically when people filter something, it is because they see something on the screen that they may not necessarily like and may want to zhuzh up just a little bit. And the contouring potentially of someone's face to maybe make it either more shapely or slimmer could be as a result of that person having a feeling about their current size or their current look in general. And as such, Angel is receiving what they're saying as body shaming, and she needs for Gizelle to understand that. Gizelle is perceiving this more as a surface level dig, right? Girl, your pictures don't look like you. But Gizelle is also not responsible for Angel's internal issues that have not been expressed to the group. This is the core of this, to me, is the core of the issue, right? And because there is the unspoken aspect of Angel doesn't know these girls that well yet. They don't know her that well yet, and so they don't maybe understand where her thought process is with joining this particular show and whatever she has brought with her into this particular show, i.e., emotional, mental, physical baggage of any sort, right? So they don't know that about her yet. Angel hasn't spoken about this. This is my best guess based on the fact that Angel tells us in the scene that I used to be a TV host, I used to be a presenter, and then now we can see the different photos of Angel from back in her hosting days, and we see, aha, it's very much an aha moment. And so I think that in that regard, I think that I wish that no, there's nothing that Angel could have or would have or should have done in that moment other than express herself, which is what she did. Period. And it was also on Gizelle to apologize. And I think that I respected the fact that Angel had that discussion with her. And I respected the fact that Angel was not willing to hug. I respect that Angel did not want to walk back with her because she was in her feeling. And as a true introvert, which is something I truly understand, you need a moment. You need a moment. And that's real, right? So Gizelle then goes back to the group. Ooh, girl, that girl was crying, y'all. She was crying. She was crying. Oh, Lord, she was crying. Oh, God. Oh, it didn't take Gizelle 2.5 seconds. Oh, Lord, that girl was crying because I called out over them filters on that phone. And so there you have it. And here's also what I think too. The filter, what I'm trying to tell you guys is, I think for Angel, the filter is as a result of something that she may be experiencing that could be an insecurity, right? Is that, again, Gizelle's responsibility to know if it's never been told? No, all Gizelle can see is, girl, that don't look like you. Don't none of these photos look like you. Okay, you look different in all of them. Who are these women, right? But for Angel, there's a really, there's, and I do honestly, I think she should have just said, girl, that's what filters are for. You could use a couple of filters. I mean, I don't feel like that, but I'm just saying these are retorts that Angel could be using in these moments. Maybe she's just not that type of person. Because I'll admit too, somebody, you know what? Let me tell y'all what happened yesterday. And I'm gonna give you an example. Okay. This is where I'm about to digress, and I need you to walk with me. Yesterday, I was walking through the Costco and I had to go over to the tire section, right? And I'm looking for the tire section. So I walked up to the two greeters and I said, "Excuse me, can you tell me how to get to the tire section?" And so there's the one lady who is starting to explain it over here. And then there's the other lady on the right who says, "You walk there." Now, because in my mind is focused and trained on getting to the tire section. My mind is focused on the mission. Here come this thing over here trying to be smart and funny. And let me tell you something, okay? You reserve your funny moments, okay, for people you know, but don't be trying to do familiar things with unfamiliar people because you don't know me, and I don't really like that. Not to mention, I don't get it, right? So when she says it, I'm the type of person that you could be insulting me and I would never know it because I'm usually in my own little world, right? And that's the benefit of being a bit self-centered, right? I'm a bit self-centered. I'm not gonna lie to you. As a creative, sometimes you have to be. And it's just about me thinking and processing what I need to do. So when I say, how do I get from point A to point B, and you say you walk, well, girl, what if I'm flying? And that's what I said to her. When it caught up to me, what she was saying, what she was trying to do, as she's trying to chuckle and laugh about it, I was like, well, girl, what if I'm flying? What if I'm taking a boat? How do I get there? Girl, just answer my question. I don't have time for you and your jolly jokes today. Okay? I really don't. I don't. So what I'm saying to you is perhaps Angel is one of those types of people that doesn't process things in the moment. But if you're going to be on this show, Angel, you are going to have to learn how to process faster. You're going to have to learn it. You really are, because these girls are quick and you're going to have to be quick too, right? Because Gizelle was so quick that she ran back over there and told them girls you were crying faster than you could wipe your tears. She was already telling them. So, that's my thoughts on Angel, because, the thing is, when Angel comes back to the group, she has a different stance. She is still upset about it, and she says, "Well, I slept on it." Well, when you say you slept on it, that means that you had a conversation with Kiana, and then you slept on it, and then you and Gizelle had a moment, and then you're still upset about it. Like at a certain point in time, you just got to realize this is where you are now. Okay, you are in the land of social etiquette and digs. All right. And if they can see that they can dig at you, they're going to keep digging at you. That's it. That's it. You got to learn that. So the group kind of divides up. Ashley takes Kay over to the side. Kay tells Ashley, I'm annoyed that you guys were coming at Angel last night, but I'm like, well, girl, why didn't you say nothing? Angel also confesses, like, yeah, she's upset. Later on, she has a conversation with Jazzy and with Tia about still being upset about this whole situation. And, at some point, there's a brewing something going on with Tia and Jazzy, because Jazzy's she's going to tell Tia, girl, you filter your photos a lot too. But anyway, I ain't seen that lady's Instagram a lot, so I don't really know. And they ain't giving us no examples about her. But what does happen is Gizelle tells the group about her conversation with Angel. Wendy, suggests that, Kay and Angel are just the Debbie Downer sisters. I mean, they are just the woe is me women. They are just the ladies who don't like the lunch. They are just, ooh, girl, you're just casting a shadow over us, So that's how they feel, right? Here's my thing. Somebody said, oh, Miss Carolina says Angel and Kiana are disappointing this season. Here's what I would say. Kiana would be a lot more digestible if it looked as though she was having fun. When Karen is also at it with everybody, there is something about Karen that looks like she is still having fun at this with these. Like, there's something. Kiana don't look like she's having fun. Angel does not look like she's having fun, So there's something I think that they need to learn about how you do this housewives thing and still look like you're having the time of your life, right? There's something to that. Wendy has seemingly mastered that at this point. Gizelle has definitely mastered it. Ashley has mastered it, whether you like Ashley or not. Stacy, the reason why people love Stacy is because Stacy is having the time of her life, and she does not care whether or not they are coming for her. She is still her. She is just her, right? That's why people love her. So even if she is calling her man and saying the sex word and then sending a sexy photo, and he says, you got the wrong number. Who is this? Who is this? She lets it still roll off of her. She walks out, sees Ashley and Gizelle cackling about this moment, and says, hey, girl, stop talking about me. Ha, 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 ha. And she's still a ray of sunshine. It's like the woman is Teflon. Nothing these women do can even remotely make her have a bad day. And in the spirit of Stacy, okay? In the spirit of Stacy, I got to show y'all this. If you ain't seen this, let me tell you something. You about to have a good day. You about to have a good day. These clips of Stacy are making the rounds. I got Mr. Housewives. Thank you so much for this post right here. I go back to this post whenever I feel like, I'm tired.
Don't you need a great statement earring? Oh, yes, you do.
Oh, yes.
Talk about length. Talk about drama. Talk about stones. Talk about comfort. So lightweight. J427031. These are your red carpet linear.
See, y'all remember, for those of you guys that know, when I first saw Stacy on this show, I said there is something about her that you can't take the QVC out of Stacy. You could take her out of QVC, you could take her out of the hosting, but you cannot take the QVC out of Stacy. You just can't. And so as you see her,
but either way, you're going to be comfortable. You are going to go to that wedding and have three pieces of that cake because it doesn't matter. You're going to be so comfortable.
I mean, it's like the woman, it's like she knows how to make lemonade out of lemons. This is why she does so well on this show, y'all. It's because she's so used to. Let me show you my favorite one. This is the one right here. This one right here takes me out.
Right here. And what a great place to start. This just makes me smile. You can hear the smile in my voice, I'm sure. This is called fuchsia dip dye. So we're going to start with cherry, and we are just going to graduate on down to coral, to pink, and then to a deeper pink. And now we're ending at fuchsia. I love it. What a great pair of joggers. So we're going to start right here. And what?
Listen, I'm going to put this down in the comments. I mean, in the description of this video. If you find yourself having if anything goes wrong today, if you feel like you are just at your lowest point in life, when I tell you this girl is going to sell something to you, you and your life will be forever changed all day long. Let me tell you, just go down the rabbit hole. There are tons of these clips that are floating around on social media, and she is literally selling joggers better than Sheree. It just yeah, and you know what it is? For me, I'm gonna tell y'all what it is. I have had to do TV before, right? And at times, you have to talk about things that really don't excite you, but you got to make it seem exciting. And the way she is selling these joggers, these ombre joggers, the way she is selling them, it is like, you know what? I've got to buy. I've just got to buy. I have just got to buy. It's the voice, the wit, the camp. Yes, she's so campy. That's what we love about Housewives at this point. We want some camp. That to me, for those of you guys that never watched Real Housewives of New York City, like the old version, I'm not talking about these new influencer girls that they picked up. I'm talking about, and thank you for that super chat, Miss Sherry, Sherry Amore. There was a camp to them that just was, I hate to say it. It was like watching reality Golden Girls. Now, I ain't calling those ladies old, but I'm just saying that's what it reminded me of. That's what I want to feel when I watch Housewives, And so it is something about this QVC, sort of HSN vibe that she has that you just can't. They just cannot penetrate her. They can't penetrate her. It just is what it is. So I had to go down that rabbit hole, y'all. They do some sightseeing while they're in Nevis. They do have a moment where Wendy gets sick and she feels like she has the flu, so she has to go sit in the van for a little bit. Yeah, I mean, we have a moment where they come back to the house. I don't know if this happened, but I don't know. Wendy gets sick a little bit later. They come back to Wendy and Jazzy and Stacy's place for lunch. And they have a sit-down Ponderosa where they question Gizelle about her dating. Ashley does what she does best. She tries to deflect it again for Gizelle. And Wendy's like, no, ma'am. Gizelle is going to talk about her love life in some way, shape, or form. And Gizelle kind of does. She talks about her dad and what he wanted for her in terms of somebody that, that she would spend the rest of her life with. And she really doesn't give up any information about this guy that she's dating or whether or not he's met her kids or whether or not they've done anything. So it really is that she does kind of stonewalls us and we just don't get anything. And listen, honestly, I feel like the producers are like, if they're okay with it, there's nothing much we can do about it. The woman's not going to give us anything. She's going to be just a sort of a lead character that sometimes feels a little bit empty because we don't get what I think we really need from her sometimes. But she delivers in so many other ways that I feel like that production is probably like, well, you're going to deliver the drama. So, okay, cool. You know, it's kind of like, we'll, I mean, there's a balance there. We'll take what we can get. And she's still the familiar face that's holding down the show, especially since Karen is gone. There's another moment where Angel lets the girls know that her man is giving her $5,000 to drop at the you know how like when you go on like shopping when you're in another country. I don't bring trinkets back. Okay, I don't. I mean I will, but I really don't like to. I'm not a trinket shopper person. The person that's going to go get the shot glasses and stuff like that, because I feel like I don't know where I'm going to put that stuff. And I'm like, these are going to break. So I'm not, that's my rationale. And my thought was, girl, please don't tell them about how much your man is giving you. Because guess what? Listen, that level of conversation invites speculation about what you have and what you don't have. It would be one thing if that were, and I can only say this now, right? Actually, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna take that back. Hold on, I'm gonna take that back. You gotta know who you can say this around, right? If this were on Beverly Hills, that comment would not really mean a thing. Listen, now if you sign up for Vietnam, get all the trinkets you want, okay? Get them all, do all that you can. And for those of you guys who know, I think I'm gonna stop through Thailand on my way back. And I'm gonna go to the MBK Center and I'm gonna pick up a whole bunch of trinkets for myself. If you know, you know. MBK Center is where you can get you can get a lot there. It's 7 floors for those of you guys that have never been to Thailand, never been to Bangkok. I'm giving you all the clues that you need right there. Here's what I will say about that. If she were to say this on Beverly Hills, the comment wouldn't mean a thing. For whatever because Beverly Hills is the culture is shopping, how much money we spend, designer items, Birkins, bags, and bottles. All right. That's the run to the Google, MBK Center, Rob J in the city, run to the Google. If you know, I am telling you now, if you ain't listened to nothing else I say, look up MBK Center in Bangkok. Thank me later. Okay? Now, Birkin's bags and bottles, or Birkin's bags and booze, expensive booze in Beverly Hills. Potomac is not really that city where the women are speaking about how much they have or not, or how much their man is giving them. And some of the ladies don't really take too well to that, which is also very interesting. I would just sort of peep the lay of the land, because I feel like while Angel is comfortable in some ways, she's very comfortable in others. So I just perhaps would tread lightly about that. Because listen, here's the thing. That may be her lifestyle in general, right? My man sent me $5,000. Boom, 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 boom. Around her friends, maybe they all talk like that. She is from a community of wags, right? So that level of discourse is probably nothing for her. Really, I mean, honestly, it's probably nothing. But to some people in a new situation, it may come across like bragging, like, oh, my man not doing that for me. Why you talking about that or whatever? You just don't know. And I think that you kind of have to learn to read the room, and Angel is still learning how to do that. But it's also one of those situations where it's like, yeah, it's going to sound like bragging if you're not used to it. I mean, that's just the thing. That's just how it is. So it's a toss up for me on that, right? It's a toss up to me. Oh, Kenyatta Tay says he did meet one of her daughters in her green screen. I wish that we could meet one of her actual dates, but I get it. You know, I get she's probably got PTSD from what's happened to her previous situations. Okay. Now you understand what I'm saying. Ding, 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 Shawnee. Ding, ding, ding. All right. If you know, you know. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to put you on game. So what I'm going to do is I'm likely going to get my ticket to Vietnam. On the way back, I'm likely going to stop in. I'm going to stop in Thailand because I think it's a 2-hour flight, and I'm going to go from Bangkok back home. That's how I'm going to do my trip, I think. I'll be trying to put y'all on. Y'all really think, I mean, listen, I do want y'all to travel, but I really also want to put y'all on. Like, get to Googling. Also, thank you for the super chat, boo. Okay. So the ladies go shopping. That's where Stacy sends the weird message to her husband, ex-husband, her man, whatever. They do a steel drum session. Gizelle and Wendy, when they get back to Gizelle and Stacy, go check on Wendy when they get back to the house. And Wendy is still feeling sick, so she's not going to make it to dinner. So they do bring her some snacks. They get to dinner, and, you know, Angel is feeling a little spicy and wants to know if she is going to be on the menu tonight. Girl, no, you are not. Actually, on the menu tonight is Kiana. Okay? Because Gizelle lets Kiana know that she was feeling some kind of way because Kiana left the night before when they were having Wendy's birthday celebration. And Kiana thanks her and says, "Oh, well, I'm glad you told me that because Wendy, to me, acts very, you know, nonchalant about everything." And Ashley chimes in and says, "Well, actually, it was a good thing you the Angel still stayed because we got a chance to know Angel kind of, you know, on a more intimate level, you know, because you guys weren't attached at the hip, essentially." And Kiana does acknowledge that, right? But she then turns to Jazzy and acknowledged that Jazzy hurt her feelings for the way that she came at her. And Jazzy's like, "Well, hold on, girl. You came for me and you said that you took something that I told you about my man and you brought it out into the public." And I'm like, well, did she really bring out something that you hadn't already said? I mean, it was technically known at that point. Here's the thing. Jazzy, at this point, if the man had 2 kids while you were with him, then he had 2 kids while you were with him and you stayed. Y'all getting married now, so it didn't happen while y'all was married. I mean, whatever the case is, who cares? You're with him now, you're happy. Okay, cool, fine, get it. But just continue to own it. She then is like, well, it was only partially true what you said. It was only one child. And I'm like, okay, I don't really, whatever. Okay, girl, I'm confused. I don't know that I really care because here's the thing. You're still going to marry him. You seem happy. If you happy, if you like it, I love it. So they continue to go at it. And really, the bottom line is that Kiana basically tells Jazzy, well, you, for me, if you were so upset, then you're upset about something that I don't know that I did. And so at that point, Jazzy's like, well, do you want me to go there with what you actually did, what you actually said, specifically about Wendy? Because we were wondering this, if they were going to get to this. And finally they do. So Jazzy tells the producers in the confessional, this doesn't happen in real time, that Wendy said that Kiana said not to trust Dr. Wendy. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell y'all this. All episode, I don't know if you peeped this, but Jazzy has been giving, okay? She has been sprinkling a little jazz and all that jazz all up and through this particular episode. And it's very, very subtle, but you might have missed it. And I think it's going to explode next episode. But Jazzy has kind of been sprinkling a little jazz dust all up and through this group. You got to pay attention. If you got to pay attention to clock it all, right? So for me, I'm like, okay, why don't you say this in the moment? Like, say it out loud. Speak. Let us know what the tea is. Like, let them know what the tea is. What was it? Can somebody remind me, what was it that Karen allegedly told Stacy about Wendy from last season? Do y'all remember what she said? Somebody in the chat, please let me know. What did Karen say? It's on the tip of my tongue. What did Karen allegedly tell Stacy about Dr. Wendy? I'm trying to figure it out. While I'm on that, though, I do think that I am wondering, I can't remember. It was something to that effect. And I'm wondering, was it the same thing that Kay said? Did Kay, my question is, if we know that Karen and Kay were really, really close, Karen allegedly was speaking negative things about Wendy. And I asked this question before. Were Kay and Karen having conversations about Wendy of a similar sort? So if Kay is echoing Karen's sentiments, does Kay believe that Wendy is not to be trusted, or is she just getting that from Karen based on Karen's experience? And is it something that Wendy allegedly did to Karen that makes Kay feel this way? Or is it just things that Kay did to Wendy? Or is it that Karen experienced something about Dr. Wendy that now that she's had a conversation with Kay, it seems to me very obvious that perhaps Kay and Karen could have had conversations about Dr. Wendy. As a result, it seems to be beyond, not too far from the realm of possibility that Kay then had a similar conversation with Jazzy. Again, right, not on camera, right? And so now this is all coming back to the surface, but maybe Jazzy, not really knowing Karen that well, only got the information from Kay. I would love to see that whole thing come right back around at the end of the season, because Karen is surely coming back. I just want to know for myself. And I would like to know more about what it is that Karen has said or felt or experienced about Dr. Wendy that would make her feel that way, because we didn't see any of these things happen between Kay and Wendy. We only heard about them. We didn't see what anything happened between Karen and Wendy. We only heard about that at least through Stacy. So I would like to know. So anyway, that was the episode, y'all. I will say though, I mean, and I think I said it last week. I do feel like this season everybody is delivering. I mean, even though I think that Angel is having a tough time, to see her process this and try to walk through this journey is very interesting to me, at least from a sociological perspective of how someone is trying to enter into a group, has it all, right, but is still not fitting in. It's interesting to see Kay struggle amongst this group, especially because we know that Karen was a big, you know, was really a huge influence for her. Now not having Karen on the show, but then bringing in Angel, how that works, seeing Wendy in this time period, but also knowing what is to come for Wendy. I think it's just all very interesting. And then seeing Stacy continue to thrive in spite of everything that continues to be thrown at her in every episode, it really does make for a very refreshing watch. Some people will probably not enjoy it as much because it doesn't feel as over the top drama filled. You know, none of the ladies are screaming at each other. None of them are throwing things at each other, a la Salt Lake City, which is fun on a whole nother level, right? Whole different type of show, whole different energy. But I feel like there's something about Potomac that hits a little sweet spot for us in the current time that we're in right now, that it just feels light enough that we enjoy the drama, but not so heavy that it becomes a downer for us in light of everything else in the world that we have to deal with. That's why I like this particular franchise in this particular period of time. I have said it before. I think that Salt Lake and Potomac are the two shows right now that are really just hitting on all cylinders in terms of housewife shows. And I think that they just need to keep this going. Even with, I looked at the table last night. It's literally like just about four rarely new girls on one side of the dinner table with like two OGs and one person that just came in last season. And they're still able to deliver what for me feels like fun television on a Sunday night, right? So let me know again if you had similar thoughts. Again, we try to come at this from all angles, and I try to look at it from, we try to have adult conversations over here as best we can, right? We do get a little crazy, and I will digress. And I do have an imaginary assistant, but whatever. So we do all of that and we have a good time. Happy Monday, y'all. I hope that this is a great start to your week. If you guys are interested in joining our group trip, we do have 5 spots left, y'all. 5. I already told you what my plan is when I come back. So Vietnam, 3 cities, and then I'm going to start by Thailand and hit the MVK Center. And yeah, we're going to do all that. So if you're interested, tap in the description. Come and join us. It's already almost full trip. It's going to be lit. It's going to be a good time. And subscribe, and I will catch you